2021 becomes history and 2022 becomes our present and is upon us. It's good to be here, though. It is good to be here. Now, tomorrow's edition is going to be the final edition of Hard Facts for the year 2021. Well, just a quick confirmation of that. Today is 30. Today is Thursday. I'm looking at the calendar right now. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is 31. Tomorrow is the last day of the year. So I'm right. Tomorrow is the last edition of Hard Facts for the year. Or tomorrow will feature the last edition of Hard Facts for the year 2021. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. But anyways, I hope you've had a fine day so far and a fine or good enough 2021. And you're welcome to today's edition of the show. From now till about 7, as usual, we'll keep the conversation going. So matters up for discussion on the show today, and you're welcome to be a part of it. Happy holidays. Compliment on the season. I hope you're having a great time so far, right at the moment. Now, on the show today, let's see what's coming up. Now, I'm guessing this might not make at least one person happy, but I thought about it. I thought hard about it. Not sure how long or short I did, but I did think hard about it, and I decided still that the round remains suspended until the new year. Yeah, I'm sorry if that's if you're not quite pleased with that decision, but I still think it's the right one. I think to just leave the round for them. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you're thinking. I want to hear from your perspective. I want to hear you. I want to listen to you. And I'm going to continue with that to the end of the year. The rounds will return. It definitely will return. In the not too distant future it will. Or Saturday's the 1st, Sunday's the 2nd. It's likely, I think there's going to be a public holiday on the 3rd. So definitely that week, maybe the 4th or the 5th or thereabouts. Also, the rounds will return. But for the moment, for today, definitely so. The round remains suspended. So I hope to hear from you till 4 p.m. today. No side comments as well. Now, 4 o'clock, we've got the news coming up, business news that is. We've been doing that for some time, and that will continue today, as well as the updated 5 headlines, 5:30, major news at 6 p.m. As far as other matters up for discussion on the show today are concerned, let's take a quick look at that. Alright, so in the 4 o'clock hour, we continue with the ongoing series started, I think, Monday last week, 2021 in retrospect. The focus today will be on security. How has Nigeria fared in the area of security in the year 2021? We'll look at that on the show today, absolutely so, and I will be having a guest join me for that discussion. I did mention as well that I'll be having notable persons join me and every discussion on 2021 in retrospect, and I think that has been the case for some time throughout actually the duration the series has lasted thus far. Now today on the show, joining me will be an expert, Ambassador Oimian Roy Ohi Dievie, who is Director of Media Coalitions of Concerned Military Veterans. Is also National PRO, Association of Licensed Private Security Practitioners of Nigeria. He will join me for that conversation in the 4 o'clock hour as we discuss 2021 in retrospect from a security perspective. That takes us to 5 o'clock. We've got the news update up at 5 p.m. and after that discussions continue. Yep, it's the NBA fighting human rights violations. We'll be taking a look at that later on in the 5 o'clock hour today. This was on the news earlier. The Nigeria Bar Association chairman, Port Harcourt branch, Printing Yekwere, says the organization has done its best in fighting human rights violations. Mr. Yekwere said this while reviewing how many rights abuses in the state have been fought within the last year. Let's hear from Prince in Yekwere. Once again, especially if you missed the news earlier on today, you get a chance to hear him now. So here are his thoughts on that.
Within the circumstances of the environment that we operate, I think NBA has done well. We've been vocal in condemning infractions on human rights. We've been vocal in condemning what we see as not in accord with the rule of law. NBA does not have coercive power. Even in some areas, we have gone to court to challenge some of these infractions. By and large, NBA have been able to do what we are supposed to do, which is promoting the rule of law.
He told our correspondent that the major violator of human rights is the executive arm of the government, especially the police. That's what he said.
The major violators of human rights is actually the executive, and police is part of that executive. Yes, we have pockets of individual violating human rights, but it is the police and the executive arm that are majorly the culprits of violation of human rights, because in the course of carrying out their duties, they overstep their bounds. So those are the areas we encounter challenges.
Has the NBA fared well in fighting human rights violations, especially in the year 2021? There is another related matters we'll take a look at in the 5 o'clock hour after the update. Headlines 5:30, a reminder, major news at 6 p.m. as well. And after that, if you've missed out on contributing to any of the matters on the show today, till after the major news at 6 p.m. or till 6 p.m., I'll be taking your thoughts till about 7 when the show wraps up. Extra time with the sports gang is up after that. So that's it for today's edition of Hard Facts, talking about what to expect. So we get the conversation going at the moment with today's no. I almost said side comments, but no side comments today, just as there will be no rant as well. What are you pondering? I'd like to, get a whiff of what you're pondering at the moment. What are you thinking? It's played out in the year 2021, something of concern to you, maybe played out today as well. That counts, I suppose. Let's hear it. But like I said, even previously, since the rant has been suspended, I still think about stuff. I come across stuff, I observe stuff, and one disturbing thing, and I think I should just say it or two, just mention it. I came across some news item on BBC Pidgin earlier today, so a tragedy happened on Station Road, Old Port Harcourt Township. I think this was published about 2 days ago. A young man driving rammed his car into a truck that was parked along the road. And the incident was said to have happened around 1 a.m. early Tuesday morning. He was rushed to a hospital, but reports have it that he may not have made it. And the story comes with pictures of a car, what looks like a saloon car, rammed into a stationary truck also, and it looks really bad. It looks very, very bad indeed. And I've mentioned this or talked about this a couple of times since the festivities began or thereabouts. It's a festive period, and we're all having a great time as much as we can, and I'm 101% in support of that. But do be conscious for your safety as well. Make your safety a priority. Do not prioritize the merrymaking above your safety. Merrymaking is fantastic. Please go ahead. But prioritize your safety and the safety of others as well. It's very important. You cannot be celebrating the coming new year and then allow your celebration to cut short your life before the new year. You should not have been celebrating Christmas, the birth of Jesus supposedly, and then in celebrating the birth, in celebrating the new life, you end your life. It doesn't make any sense. Or you end the lives of other persons. So the festivities no doubt will continue for some more days. We've got New Year celebrations coming revved up at the moment. And we are approaching the weekend. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, the last day of the year. No doubt there is going to be a lot of merrymaking tonight, tomorrow as well, throughout the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, as Monday is a public holiday, I suppose. But do take it easy. Do drive carefully. Okay, be conscious and not just on the roads. Even if you're at home as well, be extra careful. Deal carefully and responsibly with home appliances, utensils, sharp objects, knives, incendiary materials, cooking gas or gas cylinders, or kerosene stoves or kerosene itself, and everything else. Just electrical appliances. Let's all take care, please, and ensure that we stay safe and alive and well into the new year 2022. All right, that said, our lines are open. Call 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003, and 0817 93 0007. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416, and Facebook is, I think we're live. Am I live? Yes, I'm live. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Another interesting thought, and I had a conversation with a friend earlier today, and I think a couple of days ago as well, on this subject matter. You know how it is that people in the cities and urban areas blame village people for their problems and their woes, and how religious leaders, men of God, papas and mamas, also are in the forefront of blaming the villagers, the people of the villages, for your headaches and your malaria. Every slight challenge that you have, even if you miss your way home, or you miss your way whilst you're on your way to some place that you've never been to before, some person in the village is blamed for that. The older the person is, the more likely that person is responsible for whatever challenges you're facing in the city. But in spite of the blaming of village people for every problem you have, including malaria, isn't it ironic how everyone is going to that same village, to those villages, during this festive period? I mean, if the village people are that horrible and are that bad, why are you going there? Why is everyone going there en masse? I imagine from today, tomorrow, the streets of Port Harcourt are going to be a lot emptier, fewer vehicles, a lot less traffic, because many folks have left the city and have gone to the villages within and outside River State. And once again, I wonder, if the village people are that terrible, are that bad, why do you go to see them at the end of the year? Really, why? Anyways, once again, what are you thinking? Let's see. I do have some comment over here. Let's start with let's go to WhatsApp. But before then, numbers to call once again: 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003, or 0817 93 0007. Fine, what's on my mind is that I'm very much worried. Okay, you know what? I think I should say this. This is something that's been on my mind for a very, very, very long time, actually. Now, the words I am and just am are not the same thing. I'll come back to that in a moment. Hello, Hard Factory, welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to that. Now, when people want to type I am, or the abbreviation of that, which is I apostrophe M, which is I'm, I find that most people these days type am. So instead of saying I am fine, for example, if you ask a person how you doing, if you're chatting with the person, you say how you doing, and the response, possibly what the person is thinking, is I am fine or I'm fine. What you find people typing these days is I'm fine, which is AM. It is wrong. It is terribly wrong. Please stop typing am when you're supposed to type I am or I'm. They don't mean the same thing. When you say I'm fine, it's the same thing as saying, if someone asks you a question and says, is she eating her food right now? And rather than say, she is eating, your response is eating. It's the same thing. So the question again, someone says, is she eating lunch right now? If you respond saying or typing is eating, it's the same thing as saying I'm fine. So if you would not say is eating, but would rather say she is eating, so you should not type I'm fine. Rather, you should type I am fine or I'm fine, which is I apostrophe M. All right. Hello, 9213.
Hello, Mr. Dayo.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Yes, my name is Moses.
Go ahead,
I
Moses.
am speaking from Outer West, Ihochi community, precisely. From Ihochi community to Ahoda, it's about 16 miles or thereabout, more than that. One thing that has been meditating in my mind all this long, from the beginning of 2021 to this moment, is insecurity. Around that area, we have a lot of no government routes. The only time we see government presidents is during their campaign. And as soon as the election is over, that is how you don't see anybody who asks you to vote for him. On that note, insecurity become a challenge. The people over there, as I talk to you today, teachers don't go to work. Almost all the primary schools in Ihochi, Ikod, Odereke, Olokuma, Owube, Ombo, Ebriba 1 and 2, Ebras, they are no more going to school again. And we have people whom were elected into government.
So I have a question. So I have a question for you, Moses. So why did the people of this community? Can you hear me, Moses? Can you hear me? It's very important to listen to me right now, Moses. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. All right, sorry. It's supposed to be a conversation, Moses. Good to hear from you, though. But we are supposed to have a conversation, and if you will not listen to my question or my comment, then it's not a conversation any longer. What I was going to ask Moses is, he says that they come, they campaign, and then all of that, and they do nothing. So why do you keep voting for the same set of people? I mean, if you know, if it's become the culture, if it's become tradition, the only time you ever see them is when elections are around the corner. And it's going to happen again very soon. They're going to come and share some rice and all of that and scream all kinds of gibberish, incoherent nonsense. And then you still go out to vote for them because they tell you they have structure and they're on ground. So what's the point of it, you know? 90.3, hello, you're welcome. Hi, go ahead.
I guess that's your reference to the village people and why you have the diabolical people in the village and why almost everybody.
Hello? Are you there?
I think that, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes, I think that one major reason why people rush to the villages is because those women and women are on holiday.
They're on holiday. Where did they?
Yes.
Where did they go?
They're taking break for the Christmas and the festive period.
Ah.
So that they will resume their activity.
Yeah, but when they were giving you the headache, they didn't come to the city. It was while they were in the village they were giving you the headache. They didn't travel to the city to give you the malaria. So why are you going to the village to meet them?
That's what I think. Those people are on break. So when they resume, it's January 2 and then November, they wouldn't travel anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. They're on sabbatical. 92.3, hello.
Hello?
Yeah, could I, sir? Go ahead.
Hello, good day, Dayo.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. My name is Eric. I'm calling from Boba. Yeah. What's on my mind? Yeah, what's on my mind is the suit situation and the nonchalance on the part of the government in dealing with it.
Okay, go on.
Instead, yes. Instead, the government is building a cancer treatment center somewhere in Port Harcourt at Umukuta here. That's the measure the government is taking concerning the situation. It's giving me concern. So dealing with the issue itself.
So what's wrong with having a cancer treatment center? What's wrong with having a cancer treatment center?
Is it?
What's wrong with having a cancer treatment center?
I'm not talking about it being wrong, but it has been said that the suit situation portends cancer for many of us in time to come. Maybe that's the proactiveness of the part of the government building a cancer treatment center as in to tackle the issue then, instead of dealing with the issue as it is now. That's my concern about it. It is good to have a cancer treatment center, but it's also good to do something to forestall cancer as a pandemic.
Yeah, but I understand your point. But if you ask me, I don't think the government is building this cancer treatment center to deal with the inevitable cancer that a lot of people might develop due to the situation right now. I don't think there's a direct.
I'm not saying it's the intention of the government, but it is the purpose of containing the crisis. Then,
how many people do you think?
Maybe the government have that in mind.
Do you think cancer treatment is that affordable? Cancer treatment is not cheap. I'm not sure many persons will be able to afford it if they do develop
but
cancer.
They are building a facility for that.
Oh yes, they are actually.
Whether it will be affordable, maybe they will make it free by the time it turns a pandemic. Then, maybe.
Oh, well. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. But the thing is, my main concern about the situation is that the government is not doing anything about it.
No, I mean, and that is a valid concern indeed. 913, hello.
Hello.
You're welcome. Please go on.
Hi, Diane.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Mario, this village people thing actually is real. They don't have to be there physical. I've been a victim.
Really?
I've been a victim. Yes, I've been a victim. Let me tell you my story. I'm a civil engineer by profession.
Okay.
And I've done projects for high-profile people. And somehow, I don't get into spiritism or whatever. I'm in the city doing my thing, doing very well, doing pretty well, until we had a chieftaincy person. And the chieftaincy is actually my family. I'm from a polygamous home. And the first son actually is not well educated. And he is actually the person that is supposed to inherit the chieftaincy. While the second son is not so educated, though. He has been director in the ministry, he retired and came home to play dirty village politics. He brought politics of city to traditional school. So we were in the city, me and my brothers from the same family and some of our cousins who know how the thing is. And he went home, bribed everybody, and they gave him the chief. We came back and told him, no, you're not the first son. You're second. The first son should be the custodian of these two. And this man did everything he did, and at the end, let me just cut the long story short, I was the one financing everything. And what they did was they put a stop to my finances spiritually. Let me tell you how it happened. I worked for a high-profile politician, a first lady, and they called me. I've been doing project for her. He sent the husband to call me that I should come. They could project the about 150 million. And as soon as she saw me, she said, "This is not the person I asked you to call." But she made mention of the project I delivered for her. They called the person that delivered the project at social place. They called me. They said, "This is not the person I sent you to call." And that was the end of it all. When I left there, the guy called me in the evening because then I worked in economics. You know how it happens. He tells me, "My man, something is wrong with you. I just want to on your behalf. They are doing something in your head, in your village. Something is holding you down." And I called my cousin. He said, he told me, my cousin from another village. He now took me to somewhere in Anambra. He drove down. And when we got there, on sighting me, the lady does not know me from Adam. She called my name and name of everything and the people that are after me and people that did what they did. Right there and then, I had some money with me. She told me how much it's going to cost. But I'm telling you, we Africans, and we spirit control the physical. Anybody that doubts, we see. I gave the money, and she did everything, spoiled everything. I have to go back to the same project which they rejected me, and they received me. Dio. It's real.
Okay, you know what? You know what? Don't go off the line. Don't go off the line. What I want to say is this. Now, I'm not going to engage you in a conversation or an argument as to whether or not somebody can spiritually remote control your life, such that somebody that wants to give you a job or a job you're working on already, you are suddenly not identified. No, hold on. Okay, fine. So, someone wants to give you a job and suddenly they can identify you. Suddenly. Now, I'm not going to engage you or in an argument regarding that. But you made a comment. This person whom you believe sponsored this spiritual remote controlled attack against you is from the city. Is not based in the village. Am I right?
No, he's in the city. When you say village people, that's relatives.
Hold on. The person is in the city. The person is not in the village. So he's not. That's my point. That's the point I was trying to make. I'm not saying that there aren't bad people, and I'm not arguing as to whether your life can be remote controlled from across the ocean. No, I'm not saying that. That's a different conversation entirely. I am arguing with the notion that once things go bad, it must be people who are domiciled in a place called the village that are quote unquote doing it.
They are in the city also.
Exactly.
We have them in the city.
Some of them
have them in the city. They're everywhere, not just villages.
Some of them could be staying in presidential.
Some of them are your neighbors even.
Maybe your neighbors. I think they may be all around you.
Yes, they're everywhere.
Exactly.
They're everywhere.
Living.
So when they make mention of village people, they are telling you that there's something spiritual. It's just a kind of a glitch.
Why was it termed village people? Why village people?
Actually, the person that did it for him is from my village. Then he has sponsored it in the village. Village people are good people, but there are bad people in the village.
Well, there are bad people. There are bad people in the city also.
All right, Daya, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And that's it. I think it's discriminatory. It is discriminatory, village people, because there are bad people everywhere. As we speak right now, well, even from his account, the person who was responsible for quote unquote doing him is a city person. A city person. Doesn't live in the village. May never have lived in the village, actually, quite possible. Lives in the city. So, once again, why refer to such persons in quotes as village people? All right, over to WhatsApp right now. What's in my mind is that I'm very much worried why items in Nigeria never stabilize, or better still, come down, irrespective of the kind of government, whether or not it is civilian or military. For instance, in 1983, I used to buy 30 cups of Gary for 1 naira. Same thing with other groceries and usables. Since from the days of Sonny Okosun and other of his contemporaries, there has been hardship. How come no government, be it PDP or APC, has been able to stabilize prices of commodities? Rather, it keeps soaring higher and higher by the year. I'm just thinking at Michael Iwowari from Bayelsa. Michael, the answer is simple. We've been inundated. We've been plagued, I think is the more appropriate term. We've been consistently plagued with bad leadership, which has led to terrible or even a complete lack of governance, really. And talking about prices increasing, you may term that inflation. Now, inflation is not a Nigerian sin, and inflation may not necessarily be a sign of bad governance, because everywhere in the world you have inflation. In the price of groceries, you referenced 1983 here. The price of groceries in Canada or in the US or in the UK in 1983, I'm quite certain is not the same price that they buy those groceries now in 2021. The price has gone higher. However, a major difference with those countries and our country is the purchasing power of the citizens. The purchasing power of the residents also increases commensurately, and in some cases might even be higher than the rate of inflation. The same way that what the person was earning in 1983 over there is significantly higher now than what they were earning then. Now, even though what the average Nigerian earns now is also higher than what the average Nigerian earned in 1983, but the question is, what the president earned in 1983 vis-a-vis what that amount could afford, how much can you afford now, even though your salary or your wage is higher than what you were being paid in 1983? So it's about purchasing power and not really about the actual amount. So inflation is a global phenomenon, but the difference, why some countries are way better than us, is because the purchasing power of people either at least remains the same or in some cases even continues to rise. Even though inflation, cost of goods and services is also rising, they can afford more over time. Unlike here, where you are earning more, but you can afford less than you could some years or even decades ago. So it all comes down to bad leadership and bad governance. And it's a terrible situation, really. Okay, still via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Dyer. What's of interest to me this year is this. I received first redundancy letter in the year 1995 after 5 years in service. I returned home and spent 2 years without work, no wife, no children at that time. I asked myself, what if I had a wife and children under redundancy? Will they return from school? How will they feed and clothes? How will I pay other bills? I started investing in estate development. I bought lands, built houses, so I will have backup in the case of such events in the future. What I sought many years later is happening right now. Life. I lost my job 4 years ago. I'm married with 3 kids, all in secondary school with high bills to pay. All this is made possible now with that single investment of yesterday. With redundancy, they still go to school. My car is still on the road and in good condition. Bills are paid, assets went due. What am I saying? Nigerians and the youths of today should learn how to eat their fruits and not the seed, as seeds are meant to be replanted for tomorrow's sake. Emmanuel from Port Harcourt sent that. Emmanuel, thanks for those words of wisdom that you've shared. Also, what's in my mind is how Nigerians complain about the present state of our country. We all want a better Nigeria, but we find it difficult to do what's right to actualize the country we all seek to have. That's a very disturbing trend indeed. I'll come back to that in a moment. Hello, House Factor, welcome.
Yeah, hello, Dayo. Good afternoon.
Hello, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Victoria from the Morning.
Go ahead, Vic.
Yeah, what in my mind is come 2022, their campaign year. I want to tell everyone, everyone, so just as I'm about doing next month or next year, changing my polling unit from where I was because it's very far. So I'm trying to tell people to go change their voting unit if you've done it elsewhere, when you go, not get there, during the voting exercise. Please do it. You can change your voting unit where you can walk down to cast your vote, because we shouldn't keep hearing we do or we don't do they promise they don't do we go, we do maybe we don't do and exactly carrying rapper dancing. Please, I urge everyone, change and be part of it so that we won't keep comparing night and what who is on ground, not who is on ground, but who have structure, who can bombard, who want to bring us out from this menace we are in right now. So I want to urge every Nigerian to go and do what is right. That is what is in my mind this afternoon, Dayo. Thank you.
Vic, you're welcome. And thanks for those equally wise words as well. I hope that you're going to take a listen to, or you took a listen to what Victoria said and you take it seriously and act on that come next year, come especially 2023 as well. And I'll text you back to a message I read via WhatsApp just a while ago. I am going to read that message again. What's in my mind is how we Nigerians complain about the present state of our country. We all want a better Nigeria, but we find it difficult to do what is right to actualize the country we all seek to have. There you have it. You know, I mean, structure and ungroundedness is what has led us to where we are today. Structure and grandness has led to the high level of insecurity. Structure and grandness has led to our children sitting on bare floors in places that are referred to as schools, where they're supposed to be getting an education. I wonder if they're actually getting it. Structure and ungrandness is what has led to our primary healthcare centers being moribund, goodness gracious, a place you should not go to if you want to feel well. You know, structure and ungrandness is what has led to all of this. Structure and ungrandness is what's gradually infecting residents of River State and beyond with diseases we may never find out of, you know, or be aware of until some years from now, due to the soot which is continually pervades the entire environment and encroaches in our personal space and even gets into our systems and our lungs and our bodies. Structure and ungrandness is what's led to all of this and many more other terrible things plaguing us. So, 2023, structure and ungrandness must not be the basis for which you vote a candidate any longer. Structure and ungrandness. Rice. I mean, the rice you were given in 2019, are you still eating that rice right now? Has the rice not finished? You know, let's do the right thing. Let's be sensible about this. You know. All right, so let's see. Via WhatsApp still. Oh, this is a very long one. Thank you, Di, for that correction. You are indeed a product of FGC. Some of your colleagues don't do this. Instead, you hear them say something like, everybody are fine, instead of everybody is fine. Oh, well. 91.3, hello.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome. Go on, please.
What's in my mind this afternoon is this. Comes 2023, and not to keep saying one of the elections, it was a senatorial election day. People of army came to Bucha in present in as this year. They came and invade and bombard and they won the vote and they went away forcefully. Even their operation, the opponent couldn't come out. It was indoor. The army invade here that day. We are talking about upper power. So no matter what we make 2023, when they who are upper power, who are to the army, when they really say into this, something will change. Then on the part of the suit, I'm one of the victims. I moved from Tahia to Bori every morning for business. If you were put on white clothes before you get to Bori, it will be 30. And this is of mixed feeling. Now, if this fire stuff, the order with us. But who are those who are taking this oil? If we stop fire, then what?
Okay, I didn't get the point I was trying to make with the fire. But on the issue of maybe some security personnel, I think you mentioned the army, disrupting elections in his community. Now the thing is this, more often than not, when a situation like that happens, the people of that community are aware. You're aware. I mean, INEC is not the one that brings security operatives or sponsors hoodlums to disrupt elections. INEC does. I don't think INEC does that. It is the so-called political gladiators who do this. And more often than not, the people in those communities know. You know the people that do this. You know them. Also, we have too many polling units in the country. The entire armed forces of Nigeria cannot go to every polling unit to disrupt it. It's not possible. Places where those things happen are few and far between. They do not represent the norm. They don't represent what happens generally. They do not paint a true picture of the elections. Where you have security operatives, whether they're army or the police or whatever else they might be. It's not a general sin. Does it happen? Very likely, yes, it does happen. But it doesn't cover everywhere. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where unscrupulous or criminal-minded security operatives come there to disrupt the election, and they're in their uniforms and they're bearing firearms, of course, I would not recommend that you engage them. You don't engage people who are bearing firearms, who are criminals, you know. But if that is not the case, play your role, do your part. It's not possible to have secure army personnel or any other security operative go to every polling unit in Nigeria, or every polling unit in Rivers State, or every polling unit in Port Harcourt, for that matter, or your local government area. It is not possible. Those incidents are few and they are far between. So play your role. What happens in those other places where, and most other places, by the way, where unscrupulous security agents did not go to? Did you go out to vote there? Did you vote responsibly as well? Are you looking for who will give you rice, who will give you 5,000 naira? Even when you're casting your vote, even if you didn't get 5,000 naira, why are you voting for this candidate or this party? Is it because they are on grant and they have structure? Or because the person who's vying for that position has shown you capacity, not just by shouting, and that he can insult the other candidate very well? No. But that person has proven to you that they've got something in their heads, that they're actually thinking, and they've got a plan to improve the quality of your life, not the quality of life of their friends and well-wishers and their family members. No, the quality of your life. Are you convinced of that? And that's what the issues really are. I mean, yes, we might have, one or two incidents or a few incidents of some unscrupulous individuals. If they're not security agents, I mean, they're going to be hoodlums. We do have those as well. But once again, they're few and far between. They're not general. They're not everywhere. No, they're not. No, they're not. Good. This is on my mind. I've been having cough and catarrh all through the holidays, and it's not fun at all. The nonchalance of the government is very loud, and that's from Dan. It's the silence is deafening. The silence is deafening indeed. It's a horrendous situation. Well, we've been asked to pray about it. Oh my. As someone says, we visit the village to show them the glory of God and their failed and wasted efforts. Ikagu Etoke from Azuba sent that. Oh, really? All right. Could have been done. It's sad that at this time people still think it's possible to remote control someone. You are what you believe. Some people were brought up in superstition, find it difficult to discard. Once I discovered you are such a person, I keep you at arm's length because, like I said, you are what you believe. That's from Paul. All right, Paul, good to hear from you as well. Like I said a while ago, I'm not going to engage in that conversation as to whether or not there's spiritism, or whether or not somebody can be in some village several hundreds or thousand kilometers away from you and quote-unquote remote control your life. But if that were possible, if it can be done from some village, it can be done from GRA as well. That's my point. Somebody can do it from Lekki in Lagos or Asokoro in Abuja. Why does it have to be from some village? That's the point I'm trying to make. And I still believe as well that the expression village people is highly discriminatory. I think it is, and I think it should be done away with. But that's it for this segment of the conversation. Okay, I'd like to read this before I move on. Adedayo, am fine, spelled am fine, is a sentence without a subject. Like you rightly said, it's incorrect. Am is a linking or copular verb. It can only be in a SVC, subject, verb, and complement sentence, like I am beautiful. Here, Dio, I can't say I'm beautiful. Please keep educating us. We need Sunday from 11 Standard. Sunday, thank you very much for that detailed explanation as well. So that's a wrap for this segment. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Thank you very much. It's been good conversing with you. I hope we as a people can make progress personally and collectively as a people and make the right decisions as we approach, and we are approaching it, the year 2023. We got business news at 4 p.m. And discussions continue after that. The year 2021 in retrospect, we're going to be discussing from a security perspective. I'll be joined by a security expert for that conversation. Do please stay with us.
Set your time on Nigeria Info, the correct time. It's 4 o'clock.
And now, the business news.
Compliments of the season from 92.3 Nigeria Info FM. Some interstate drivers in Port Harcourt say the number of travelers have increased. The drivers told our correspondent the high number of travelers has led to an increase in transport fares. And ahead of the New Year celebration, traders in the fruit garden market Port Harcourt say the cost of some food items like tomatoes, pepper and onions have remained stable, and some traders spoke to our correspondent.
Get one with the big seed. Those big seeds with this crate now.